Chairman Google, Alex Karp. So that's the other argument. It is high-tech talent. They are pouring money into it. I'm quoting Eric Schmidt to you. He says, I'm so glad I'm in a country where for the most crazy ideas that we have, there is no dearth of capital. And this whole AI battle is panning out in such a manner. The Chinese in frontline AI, Eric Schmidt says the lead, which was once 2 years, has now become 6 months. DeepSeek in many versions. And in India, when I hear this, that we will be content with diffusion and we will not compete in frontline AI, the first organization which must kick up a storm over this is the military, because we'll be greatly affected. Diffusion can happen in development. In national security, it's got to be frontline AI. And if we are opting out of the game, in my view, it's extremely dangerous. See how, and it's from this book that I'm quoting, how Maven evolved. It started with a software called Gaia, then it became Gotham, and then it became Maven. And it's a lovely story of how they developed algorithms, the algorithms didn't work, all trials and tribulations. So just like, say, night vision took 20 years to build, AI has taken the Americans 10, 15 years to build. And I think we've started, but unless we accelerate the pace, we really accelerate, we may not be in the game. Look what happens in Epic Fury. Claude plus Maven, Anthropic, which is an AI LLM, Claude plus Maven allows the Americans to do AI-enabled targeting, which is at machine speed. Otherwise, 15,000 targets were not possible. In Gulf War I, Gulf War II, they never crossed 2,000 to 3,000 targets. 15,000 targets is all because AI. And along with Israelis' intelligence, it's a remarkable feat. Between 8:10 and 8:15 a.m., 28 February, 50 top political leaders are taken out. So this is what's happening. Absolute resolve. That the Venezuela operations. Now it's AI, space, cyber, the CIA stealth drones, ground operators. Look what they do. They developed what is called as pattern of life competencies. They knew for the last 72 hours where Maduro was. By the way, he was in a military cantonment. And using AI, they posed natural language queries. Said, if this was his pattern for the last 72 hours, where will he be tomorrow evening? Where will he be day after morning? And you didn't get verbal responses, you get a common operational picture. That common operational picture is available to President Trump and General Dan Kane. From a common operational picture, you take decisions. Natural language queries. You ask which is the best asset combination. And then they took it to such a high, they said, no, this period is not suitable for us. We must create an assault window. Cyber. Cyber not sitting behind and protecting some website. Cyber there, electronic attack, taking out the electricity grid. And you created an assault window for the rotary wing guys to land Delta Force. The Delta Force commander was called and said, here is the operational picture, choose your points of insertion and extraction. Now I'm saying 3 years from now or 2 years from now, should we be able to pick up Hafiz Saeed in this manner? Why not? At least create the capacities. It expands political options. And none of this is happening unless we get far more serious about space, cyber, AI. So I'm saying it's no longer in the futuristic realm, it's happening with examples. AI, military autonomy, and algorithmic warfare, many studies tell us, will grow battlefield lethality by 10 times over the next 2 years. And all military men know what lethality means. So if we are interested in war-winning lethality, we just have to invest in this. It is enabling operations in GPS-denied environments. These technologies, along with quantum. In the land domain, it was not too difficult, but I'm now told, Monty is here, that they are using the same technologies to operate in GPS-denied environments, sea, under sea, where it gets even more difficult because there are no landmarks. But this is what technology is doing. So AI in deterrence and war fighting is making soldiers discover the limits of their own minds. I mean, we always thought humans were superior. Not so. AI is not dumb and formulaic. It is taking soldiering towards moments of exquisite algorithmic operational ingenuity. So suddenly in planning you discover that this AI bot gives me better plans than what we all could do. I mean, when you train those models and all, this is all from that book I picked up. These phrases are exactly from that book. It is like injection of genius into war planning. You are discovering Guderian and Sagat, military bots. I mean, it's fascinating to even to read. So AI, military autonomy, and algorithmic warfare are not only affecting the character of war, but also business modeling. And the point that I wish to make is this, that these kind of competencies can only come through startups, unless our PSUs transform by an order of magnitude. So it's challenging this whole business modeling apparatus. Palmer Luckey, this boss or this young CEO of Anduril, he was playing with VR headsets till about 6-8 years back. This year, he has churned out an AI-enabled, unmanned, near-stealth platform, battle-tested in 568 days. This is the business agility that's happening. Now, in our context, we have to take these calls. Character of war and business modeling. Defense departments, which were weapon factories, were entities to enable platform development, will now need to think and operate like software companies. I'm told Google updates its software several times a minute. We know in the military, we will update our processes once in a year. All that has to change. In Ukraine, innovations are being delivered in 2 weeks. So what's the point of churning out a perfect RFP in 2 years? And therefore, in my time, AK's time, what were the questions? Should we rapidize 10 div? What should be, synergy between strike corps? That was the biggest questions we dealt with. Today, there are fundamental changes. And if we don't take these changes, those that make these, embrace of these technologies, in my view, will produce a new set of strategic haves and have-nots. That is how critical these technologies are. And in examples, it is seen. The people who are most terrified of what the Americans have done in Venezuela and in both these operations, despite all the shortcomings politically, are the Chinese. Because they understand that here is a military which projects power 2 oceans away and does all this stuff. This is it. AI and algorithmic warfare are changing the workflows of combat forever. We've all heard of Mythos. Now, what is Mythos? It's a cyber nuke. The Chinese are mighty scared. It can disable any operating system. So the point that I'm making, we created a space agency, we created a cyber agency. The point, unless the military stops running after ISRO is not designed for combat. ISRO is designed for exploration, Shubhangu Shukla stuff. Trump says, my Space Force allows me to monitor the nuclear dust. My Space Force allows me to monitor the Chinese dark fleet. That is what our space agency should have been doing. Our cyber agency should have been creating these assault windows. So we have these structures in place, but I think we really need to become more ambitious so let me make this last concluding point. The Indian military has begun to address the challenges in all seriousness, but we need to accelerate the transitions. The defense budget must reflect the transitions. So if this year, I'm told 2 lakh crores have been allotted for modernization, at least 1 lakh crores must be in all this stuff, data readiness, data generation, AI diffusion. The Americans, just to create data, get these drone companies in their firing ranges, make them do live firing, and make them do operations. You are creating data. And on that data, you get superior operational capacities. AI diffusion must occur across fleets and formations. We should be teaching prompt engineering in our engineering colleges. That is the new stuff. Investments in cloud contracts. We need a new glossary. We're all aware of the glossary of military terms. Terms like WAMI, wide area motion imagery, full motion videos must enter our lexicon. It is from these videos, these capacities that you have algorithmic products. I don't hear these conversations taking place. And if these conversations are not taking place, I'm afraid we are behind in this whole realm of AI, military autonomy, and algorithmic warfare. And our budgets must reflect it. What is this capital? What do we say? Capital and the other thing is what? accountant's metric. Who's interested? We have to see in terms of combat outcomes. What went into data readiness? What went into AI enablement? So, these are some of the, shall I say, pleadings that I will make so that we become an AI-enabled force. Our entire intelligence frame needs an AI revamp. The biggest advantages of AI are happening in intelligence. Only then will targeting at machine speed become a reality. So I do hope the year 2026 becomes that pivotal moment for the Indian military to make the transition, and 2027 becomes the year for ushering in AI, algorithmic warfare, military autonomy, drones, and robotics into the Indian military at machine speed and with algorithmic resolve. Thank you.